Hello and welcome to Spirit Forest. Today I have an adventure for you to watch, or a challenge that is. I am going to challenge myself today. So let me explain kind of what I'm going to do. I am going to go backpacking for 2 days and I'm going to do a through hike. And to give you an example of what a through hike is, in case you don't know, is you go from point A to point B and you don't go back to point A. So it's just a through hike. I'm going to walk right through it. I have two cars available to me, so I have a car parked on one part and another car parked on another area. Other hikes, just so you know, it would be a loop trail, which would be that you start at point A, you go around in a loop, and you end at point A. Most of my hikes are that because I don't like doing the there and back hike where you go maybe to a lake and then you hike back, because then you see the same scenery. The loop hike, you actually see all new scenery the whole time. This one's a through hike because I'm going to have two people here, so we have two different cars. So it's going to be fun for me. So the challenge that I'm giving myself is that I'm not going to eat any food on this 2-day backpacking trip, and I'm going to exercise a lot. So I'm going to start around 10,000 feet, get up to about 12,000 feet, back down to about 11,000 feet, go back up to 12,000 feet, and then I'm going to end my hike around 10,000 feet. And I'll probably give you some more specifics throughout this video, but give you kind of an idea. It's an exercise hike. I'm doing this to see how my body will react to no food. And my little disclaimer, don't do this at home. This is a challenge just for me. I want to see, again, how my body reacts to it. So, this is something that is important to me. And, oh, there's Rocky running around like crazy trying to find me. So, this is again, just a challenge for me. I'm not doing this challenge alone. I do have somebody with me who is going to have food in case I need food. Everybody's body is different. You can actually survive without having food up to a month, depending on your fitness level and your body type. So usually in the mountains, I say maybe 7 days out here in the mountains that you could survive. I'm only going to do 2 days, so I don't really think it's going to be that big of a deal, but we'll find out. You'll find out at the end of this video if it's that big of a deal or not. Some of the things that could happen while not having food is you can feel nauseous, you can feel dizzy, little disoriented, you don't know where you are, I'm going to lead the hike. My friend is going to follow me and just make sure that I'm okay. Again, it's only 2 days, so I'm sure I'll be just fine, but I just want to see what my body is like after 2 days of no food and having a lot of exercise. Sorry for the interruption. The sun was coming on my camera, and I've noticed that when the sun comes on the camera, I get a nice blue line through my screen. So anyways, I just had to move the camera. But I wanted to tell you one of my stories from when I was in my 20s, of a situation where I would have been without food for 2 days, and I was exhausted and I had to climb over a peak. So again, it was a loop. So again, I started at point A and I went around and finished at point A. It was 60 miles for 7 days. The first 5 days I was by myself. I did have my dog with me. He was named Snoopy, and he was a German Shepherd Rottweiler mix. So he needed a lot of food. I needed some food. My food was about 5 pounds. And then I had his food, and dog food is not light. So my pack ended up weighing 55 pounds, which is probably too much for me. But in my 20s, I thought I can conquer the world, so it really didn't matter. But anyway, so I did my first 5 days by myself, and then I was meeting my friend on the 5th day that they were going to provide me more food, and then I was going to turn and do the trip at the end. Well, I got to the 5th day. I have no coverage, and this is when there was flip phones, and I had no coverage at all. My friend didn't show up. It was at another little trailhead area, and I waited for hours. They were supposed to meet me, let's say, at like noon, and it was 7 o'clock at night, and still no word from my friend. There was no coverage. I don't know where they were. I don't know if they got in an accident. So I decided I was going to stay at that trailhead, and I pitched up a tent. Well, I think it was about 11 o'clock at night. My friend ended up showing up, and what ended up happening was there was a big mudslide on I-70 here in Colorado, which is the main road to get anywhere from across the state, and they couldn't get to me. They did everything they could to get to me. They went all the way around, and you know, it took them an extra 7 hours to come to me. So in that case, when I was at the trailhead waiting for my supply of food, they didn't show up. I had one packet of oatmeal, and I had only 1 day of food, or a little bit of food for my dog. Like I had some treats and stuff for him, but that was about it. And so in that case, that would have been if my friend wasn't able to get to me and take the bottom route and back up and do that 7-mile drive, I would have been without food for the last 2 days. And so this challenge is kind of like, what would my body be like if I am hiking a lot and I'm not eating? And I want to see if my mind can stay straight. Again, it's only 2 days. The ultimate challenge would be 7 days, but I don't feel like pushing my body to that level. But I do want to see what it's like for 2 days of backpacking. So sorry, I keep having to move the camera because the sun it's coming over the horizon over here. It is in the morning, and I'm going to be heading up the mountain here soon. My first hike is going to go towards a peak. I'm not bringing my backpack on that hike. I'm going to bring actually Kyla's little backpack because all I need to carry is some water. It might be maybe a mile distance there and back. So I'm going to park my car, go there and back. I want to see the top of this peak. So come join me. I think this is, I've never been in this area before, so I like exploring new areas, and I'm hoping for some good scenery. Hi, so we're on our way up the peak, and Rocky is exploring. This is a beautiful hike. I just love it. It's going through some meadows. Again, I think we're very close to about 11 to 11.5 thousand feet. So it's just beautiful. So if you saw one of my kayaking videos, you would know that once we hit between 11 and 12, we hit the timberline, and we're right about there. So you'll see that the trees stop about right there, and then there's no more trees. That is the timberline. Some of my favorite places to be, but not in a rainstorm. We've hit the timberline. See, we're towards the top now. It's gonna get a little windy, but see if I can show you some of the views. It is really pretty. Rocky's checking out the views too, ready to go back downhill. Right, Rox? Rox, are you ready to go down already? Yeah, I didn't think so. Over there is a town called Breckenridge. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Might be able to get a better image later. But right about there is the ski resort. And I'm told there's some really good backpacking right in there. We're getting to the top. What is on the other side? It's always exciting when you get to the top of a peak or a pass, just to see what might be on the other side. Probably all the same stuff. Oh, it's so pretty. More to explore. Do you see the goats? The little white dots over there? Hanging out on the side of the mountain. I'm going to zoom out now. Rox, go. Right there is an animal trail, and then you can see the little dots over there of the white goats. Do you see the goats, Rox? Rox, do you see the goats? He's a bit hot right now. We have made it to the top of the pass. Rocky is now exhausted. We are at, and I'm looking at my map right now, we are at 12,159. I'll give you some perspective. This mountain that I'm sitting right next to, it's kind of dark, but that one is 12,815. So if you're looking to climb a 14er, you're going to be about right there. There's another mountain that's right behind this one that is at 13,000 feet. And I'm just kind of scoping out the area and think that down here would be a wonderful place to go backpacking. I don't think there's a trail there, at least there's not one on my map, but it'd be a nice compass and map trail, and maybe, you know, pitch up a tent right inside there, somewhere in that area. But I might come back here to explore this area here. We're working our way down, and I just wanted to show you guys what a 14er looks like. Again, I am at about 12,000 feet in my current situation here. And a 14er, if you see that really tall one there, Quandary Peak, right there, 14,000 feet. Give you kind of an idea about where I am at. Let's see if I can find my finger. I'm probably standing about like right here. If I were to draw a straight line, I'm probably right there. But that is one of the tallest peaks in Colorado. So I got the pack on now, and we're heading down a road for a little bit until we get to the trailhead. I am at 26 hours of no food. I'm feeling good. In fact, I don't feel any different. So I think it's all good. I like this trail because it has water on the trail. This is the typical Colorado trails that I'm used to, that as you're walking, you have water throughout, and these little, tiny little mountain streams that come through. This is a really good trail for dogs. Take a look at these guys. Rox, don't eat it. No, ouse, ouse. Look at that. No, get away, get away. See how, look at those. Those things are huge. Okay, I want to show you what I'm used to. I showed some other little streams, but this is what I'm used to when I go backpacking. Where that other backpacking video had no water, this area is overloaded with water and it's going right on the trail. But this, again, this is what most of the Colorado trails look like for me that I have been on. Very easy to hike with your dog here. Rocky, you walked right through that mud puddle. Hello. We have made it to the campsite and have put up the tent. And I am laying down on all of my gear because I'm pouting because I realized that I forgot my my floor mat, my sleeping pad, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a rough night. This is gonna be so. I'm pouting, and I am at about 30 hours of no food, and I think we hiked for about 6 hours now. and some pretty good hiking. I got a couple blisters now, and now I am just going to sit here and feel sorry for myself and pout, because if you look around here, I'll kind of show you, I can't make a bed out of these pine cones. I thought about maybe I can get a bunch of pine needles and put it in like that bag, but I won't be able to make a bed out of this. It's gonna be too much. There's really nothing else here but sticks and pine cones. So I am going to continue to lay down and pout until I'm done, and then I will set up my bed, which is just my sleeping bag. So I got over my pity party and I stopped pouting and I rested. I didn't sleep. I never take naps. I wish I could. But I started thinking about what it is that I could do here. Again, I can't really use these pine needles on the floor, but I could cut up some branches and make a little bed out of it. I think I did a pretty good job. So let me show you. Ideally, just so you know, ideally you should really have at least 6 inches of padding to sleep on. I do this in my my shelters. I have 6 inches of like debris to sleep on, but I'll be honest, I'm at, I think, around 31 hours, somewhere or other, of no food, and I didn't think that I was gonna be so hungry. I don't know why. Again, I'm testing myself to see what I'm like without food. And as I was cutting up these branches, I hit my wall and I felt nauseous. And I felt like just really hungry. That all I can think about is Chipotle. Which is a burrito. I really want a burrito right now. And it's only been 31 hours since I haven't eaten. But I'm proving a point, because a lot of people could say that you could last 21 days without food. I say usually about 7 days. Now, in the wilderness, I think it's completely different, because I have exercised a lot today, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to see what it would be like. So let me just show you my setup, and I'll talk a little bit more about my food, because anyways, okay, so let's see here. I have put I don't know, maybe it's about 4 inches or so of padding underneath my tent. I went around and I cut off just the top ends of some trees. I didn't want any thick branches underneath it because then that would hurt, or I might feel that. So I might pack it in just a little bit more. My concern is that my hips, I have slept on the ground before many times, and my hip bone ends up hurting. I actually even get a bruise from sleeping on the ground because of my hip bone. Okay, I'm going to open this up. Let's see here. I'm going to show you what I did on the inside. So, that is my friend's pad. But, I have put down that tarp that I used in my last backpacking video because I had it. So anything I can put down, I have. I put down some extra stuff down in here. All my clothes are in here, which includes underwear. I don't care, just as long as I have some padding. Here's my jacket. That's going to help a little bit with my hips. Or not my hips, I'm sorry, my shoulders. Because those are the two spots that I need to be concerned about, which is my hips and my shoulders. And ironically, I packed a pillow. I packed a pillow, but I didn't pack my sleeping pads. Okay. I don't remember the last time I didn't pack my sleeping bag, so this is actually, I'm really shocked by me. I didn't put really any padding down here on the bottom where my feet go. A lot of times I'm like a little girl and I curl up into a little ball when I'm sleeping, and that's probably how I'm going to sleep tonight. My feet might get a little cold, but I think I'll be fine. It's supposed to be in the low 40s, high 30s tonight. So the temperature's dropping already and I can feel it. But, yep, so that's the bed underneath. And I'm not feeling so good, you know, and that's what I was going to talk about. It's like, I'm not feeling good. I think we did about 8-mile hike today. And again, we hiked to a peak in that you saw earlier. And, it just hit me as I was cutting up these branches. I hit my wall and I was just like, whoa. And all I thought about was Chipotle. Food, cookies, crackers, anything, you know? So I did find some edibles on the trail and I gave it to my friend because, again, this is part of my challenge and I really want to see if I can do it. I have till tomorrow. I think I have another 8-mile hike tomorrow. It's mostly downhill, so I think I should be just fine. I don't feel dizzy. I just feel nauseous. And hungry. I'm feeling hungry. You know, I always tell people that you can last 7 days in the wilderness without food, but I really think it might be like 3 to 4 if you're hiking over these type of peaks in Colorado. You use a ton of energy doing this, so take that into consideration. Now, if you were to hike in a straight line, and by using a compass and you're hiking in a straight line, you most likely will hit a city within 4 days, or a town or whatever, or a house or somewhere. You'll most likely hit something within 4 days in Colorado. But let's say I'm in the wilderness of Alaska, you know, where you could go weeks without seeing anybody. You got to find a way to get some food. And that is something that knowing the edibles in the area when you go out is really important. Again, I was able to find some here. I decided not to eat them, but only because of this challenge, and it's only a 2-day challenge, you know, but I just wanted to share that because I'm really hungry. Really hungry. Brandon, can you make me a roast beef sandwich, please? That would be really nice. I would really like, with horseradish. Anyways, so my friend is actually cooking and they were being polite and they walked away. to go cook and eat so I don't have to smell it. I'm going to sit here for a little bit until I feel a little bit better. And then if I can, I'm going to cut up a little bit more branches. And then I will see you guys inside the tent. The sun is setting right now. It's got about one finger's worth, so until it hits the horizon. So probably about another hour or so before I hit the dark. And I'll see you then. So I have made it into the tent, and now I am laying down and I feel so much better. And I think I am on, I'm checking my watch. What is it? It's like 33 hours of no food, and I don't feel nauseous anymore. I just needed to lay down for a little bit. And my bed is actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. You know, I'm laying on it right now, and it's pretty comfortable. I didn't get a chance to put any more branches on there from what you could see, but I'm pretty happy with it. So it's not as good as my regular sleeping pad, but it's much better than the one I had when I was in my 20s. That was one of those really thin foam ones. But anyways, it's really good. So hopefully I get some sleep tonight, and I will talk to you guys in the morning. Come on, Rox, can you reach it? Can you reach it, buddy? Is that where your dog food is?